Aya Tigani lives near the Appalachian Mountains in the United States and shares stories about strange experiences from that region. She's not a paranormal investigator or someone running a dedicated channel. She's just a person who grew up around those hills, has always been interested in the odd things that happen there, and pays attention when something doesn't add up. One thing she likes to do is walk down to the lakes near her house and collect interesting stones. So one evening at sunset, she heads out with her phone to film while she searches.
Guys, check out the sunset here. Shut up. Shut up. Let's see if we can find any rocks while we're out here before the sun goes down. So I'm looking for rocks that are more like smooth to paint on and like flat and like a nice shape. Maybe like the shape of like states or something, so that I can do like a rock painting series, or like little small ones that are like I can do like little ladybugs paintings or something like that. I mean, I have a lot of decorative rocks in my house. You can ask my husband. He's like, dude, do you even need that many rocks? But I'm not finding any like really good. Tell me I'm not tripping right now. I need to watch this video back.
She's narrating what she's finding when something else appears underneath her voice in the audio. We cleaned up the file, and once you isolate it, there's no question what it is. And Aya swears there was nobody else out there, not a soul anywhere on that shoreline. If you know anything about Appalachian folklore, you already understand why hearing that particular phrase is deeply unsettling. The region's known for something that mimics human speech and calls out from the woods, using familiar voices to lure people deeper into the trees. An urban explorer from Russia was deep in the forest, miles from the nearest town, when he came across what looked like an old military installation that had been left to rot. He decided to go inside and film it, and what he ends up recording is genuinely hard to ignore.
Прикольно, ребята, давно не было у меня таких приключений. Типа сталка. Здесь, ребята, жутковато. Потому что здесь, блин, куча этих волков, зверей всяких. Подходим, идем дальше. Смотреть, что как. Вот, ребята, еще такой вот бункер. Фу, территория очень большая. Здесь будет очень тяжело найти эти шахты. Так. Пошли. А вот здесь уже стрёмненько, ребята. Какие-то комнаты. Что это было? Ребята!
While he's sweeping his camera through the rooms, something pale catches his eye. A figure stepping out from one of the doorways and moving toward him. He doesn't stick around. He turns and bolts. Later on, he looked into what the place actually was. Turns out a lot of people died there under brutal circumstances. As for what he saw in that hallway, that's still unclear. Ken McGill is a long-haul trucker who spent years on the I-57, but around 3 in the morning on this northbound run, something crosses in front of his windshield that makes him pull over immediately. He's shaken and he needs to see what his dashcam just recorded. Once he's stopped on the shoulder, he pulls up the footage to see what actually passed by. And when he finds it, he's relieved he's no longer anywhere near that stretch of highway.
She can go meet up with him and see if she can get him to confess. And it's a tough decision, I'm sure, but Amy ultimately agrees. She wears the wire of Chuck, and she...
Right there in the frame, a figure in white clothing appears near the highway. It shows up without warning, crosses through the shot, then vanishes just as quickly. The whole thing only lasts a few seconds, but Ken knows he didn't imagine it. The next day, after Ken uploaded the video, there was a crash at that same location. The drivers involved told responding officers they'd swerved to avoid hitting a woman in white standing in the middle of the interstate. When interstate police reviewed the security footage, they saw the car swerve and crash, but there was no woman in the road at all. The passengers swore they saw someone standing there, but the camera showed only empty pavement. Ken believes what appeared that night wasn't human. Ghost or glitch, it still doesn't sit right. This footage was captured by a first responder who arrived at a crash deep in the woods. The car had flipped during a fatal wreck, and the driver didn't survive. While crews were clearing the scene, the officer's camera picked up something in the trees. A shadowy figure, barely visible, passed through the frame. According to the report, no civilians were anywhere near the area, just police and paramedics. The shape looked bent over, almost like it was crouching or trying not to be seen. Some who've watched the clip think it might have been the victim's spirit lingering near the wreck. The uploader says her mother operates a home daycare, and one afternoon, while she's watching a group of kids, one of the boys suddenly gets spooked and bolts from the playroom. The rest of the children pick up on his fear and start panicking, but what the security camera recorded during that moment is what really stands out. The footage shows something nobody expected.
Did you do that? Were you in there? Were you in there? No. Who knocked this over? Who knocked this over? Maybe it was just air. Yeah, what was it done? Good. I couldn't
You can see the boy staring into the playroom, visibly afraid of something. His mother walks in to check, and that's when a large plastic playhouse tips over by itself, completely untouched. No kids are near it, and nobody's even close to it. The family couldn't explain what happened, but after they posted the video online, someone watching noticed a detail that makes it much harder to dismiss. If you watch the doorway before the boy runs, there's a pair of hands gripping the top of the frame from inside the room. They hold on for a second, then pull back just as he turns and bolts. After realizing what the camera caught, she asks the boy what he saw in there.
I wanted to quickly show you exactly what it was that was scaring the little kid that my mom was watching. So pretty much the house, and obviously you guys saw that it fell, but the other thing I wanted to point out was that it's pretty hefty, so it really doesn't make any sense that it would just fall on its own like that. This is the room. The crazy thing about this is that there was like markings at the top of the entranceway of like the doorway, and I guess in the video you can see hands gripping onto the doorway. I don't really know what to make of that. I thought at first that it was like bugs or something like that, but it looked almost like two hands like gripping on the top, like leading into this room, just like. But the main thing, and the reason that the little boy was screaming, is actually in here. We have this covered up for a reason. Apparently, the little boy told my mom that he saw a face in these mirrors. We already found someone who's going to take it off our hands and pick it up off Facebook Marketplace.
He tells them a face appeared in the vanity mirror while he was playing alone. After hearing that, they cover the mirror with a bedsheet and decide to sell it. They block off the playroom with a safety gate while they wait for someone to pick it up. A few nights go by, and the daughter is scrolling through the security feed when she notices the child gate swinging open on its own. Nobody is near it. She heads downstairs to see what's going on, and while she's standing there waiting, something moves near the covered mirror.
That's f***ing creepy. Do it again. Like, yeah, okay. Do it again. I'll wait. Do it again. Open the gate. Oh my.
The sheet suddenly bulges outward in the center, even though there's nothing behind it but the mirror and the wall. She steps closer to get a better look at what's happening, and that's when she sees it clearly. Shapes start pressing through the fabric, slowly forming what look like the outlines of fingers pushing against the sheet from the other side. She watches for a moment, then leaves. There's nothing under that sheet except the mirror itself, flat against the wall. No mechanism, no wind. Nothing that should move the fabric like that, but something clearly does. After witnessing this herself, she locks the door and closes the gate completely. The mirror is still sitting in that room, covered and waiting for the buyer to arrive.
That we're gonna keep the room closed off from the kiddos for now so they can play in the rest of the space.
And the mystery still hasn't been solved or explained. A security camera set up behind a building in Veracruz, Mexico, caught something during the summer that nobody was expecting. The camera was there to watch for break-ins, but what it recorded has left people online, trying to figure out what they're actually looking at. At first, it looks like someone limping across the frame toward a gate, but the way they move feels wrong, unnatural, and then, just as the figure reaches the gate, the top half of their body vanishes. Not gradually, it's there one moment, gone the next, like something out of a horror film. People immediately said it had to be a camera malfunction. But when analysts ran the footage through different filters, including infrared, the same thing showed up every time. Whatever happened in that frame, it wasn't just a visual error that disappeared under different light conditions. A lot of viewers are convinced this is genuine footage of something paranormal, possibly even a shapeshifter. Whether it's a glitch no one can explain or something stranger actually caught on camera, there's no easy answer to what's happening here. Let us know. Late one evening, several classmates make their way onto campus to test a rumor they'll soon wish they'd left alone. Word has spread that their school is haunted, and if you approach the nurse's station in the rear corridor and knock on the door, something on the other side will knock back. A girl named Debbie and a few of her friends decide to find out if there's any truth to it. They head to the back of the building with a phone recording and knock. What happens sends them running.
Go. Just knock on it, knock. No, go. Knock harder. Let them know. Let them.
A scream tears through the silence, loud, raw, and close. The girls take off running, terrified. None of them know where it came from, but it sounded like it was right there with them. Some viewers think the scream came from inside the school itself, which would confirm what students have been saying all along. Whether this footage proves the school is haunted is still up for debate. Dee runs a channel called Dee's Dark Adventures, and she does exactly what the name suggests. She goes out into remote forests alone, usually at night, looking for cryptids and paranormal activity. On this particular stream, titled Already Hearing Things, she was deep in the woods with nothing but a handheld flashlight. For a while, everything seemed quiet, just trees, darkness, and the sound of her footsteps on the trail. But then something moved off in the brush, and she stopped walking immediately. She turned her light toward a thick section of brush and branches, and when the beam settled, she went still. There was something in there, staring back.
What is that? Why is it so low to the ground? What is that? Stop moving. Stop moving. I'm shaking, guys. I'm trying to. There's no way. It's got a white head. It's got a white piece to it. What the is that? There's no way. What is that? Is it moving to my right? What are you? What is that? Is that like a... Is it a raccoon? Hold on. I gotta take you out a little bit because... Hold on, let me move up a little more. I'm too close and I'm shaky. Hold on. That's a big head, f***ers. That's a big head. Took the light off of it. Dude, I'm trying. What are you? I'm trying not to shake. Take the light off. Look, the lights, the eyes are shining in. This is not happening. Guys, is that a possum? No, it's too big to be a possum. No, it's got pointed ears, dude. Its ears are pointed. I'm gonna die. What are you, dude? What was that noise? Look, guys, no light, and it's shining. Its lights, its eyes shining. If it cocks its head, I'm losing it. You stay right there. You stay right there. Hold on, I'm
Hidden behind the leaves and vegetation, there's a large head locked onto her position. The eyes are reflecting the light, glowing bright through the brush. Above them are what look like pointed ears, and the face is wide and canine. The thing doesn't move at first. It just stays there, completely silent, watching her from only a few feet away. Then, as her light shifts slightly, the head lowers back down into the brush, and the glowing eyes disappear into the blackness. According to Dee, what she encountered was a dogman, a cryptid described as a massive canine that walks upright and stalks people in the woods. Others say the leaves make it hard to see clearly, and it's probably just a normal animal. Still, the size and shape of that head is hard to ignore for a lot of viewers. Some think she was face to face with something that shouldn't exist. Others think it's just a deer or coyote. Either way, the footage is strange. Drop a comment and let me know what you see in that clip. In 1988, a theme park called Reino Mágico opened in Mexico. People called it the Disneyland of Latin America, but it didn't last. A few years later, it shut down following a series of fatal accidents. Nobody knows if those accidents were the only reason it closed. Some believe it was something else. Visitors kept reporting strange experiences inside the park, and according to local stories, the place was built directly on top of an old cemetery. That history makes most urban explorers uneasy, but what really gets to them are the abandoned statues still standing throughout the park. One in particular has a reputation, Snow White. People who visit at night say the statue moves. They'll see it in one spot, then find it somewhere completely different hours later. One group decided to explore the park after dark. While they were there, their camera recorded something unexpected.
Ah, bueno, tú tienes tu luz. ¿Sí?
Güey, ese es el velador de...
Es el velador, ¿no? Ah, velador. ¡Ey! Velador.
Aguanta, aguanta, espérate, ey. Shh, no te muevas. No mames, no te muevas ahí. Güey.
¿Velador?
Ese no es el velador, güey.
Güey, no es el velador.
No.
¿Tú pensabas que era el velador?
No, aguanta. Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, güey. Eso no es el velador. No digas perras mamadas, güey. Perdón. Güey, ¿fue aquí? No digas mamadas, güey. Miren. No digas mamadas, güey.
Yo la vi moverse, güey.
No, Dios. No. No, güey, no mames.
¿Qué fue eso, güey?
No sé.
No mames, güey. No mames.
¿Crees que haya sido ella?
Güey, nos estamos metiendo más adentro del reino mágico. Banda, comparte.
No mames, güey, no mames.
The group spots what looks like another person wandering through the park, but something feels off. As they get a better look, they see the figure is wearing a dress, and the way it moves isn't right. Later, the group spotted the Snow White statue in the park, and immediately recognized the dress color. It matched exactly what the figure had been wearing when they saw it earlier. They couldn't shake the thought that the statue itself had somehow moved on its own, though there's no real proof that happened. Whether the statue really moved by itself that night, or something else was going on, no one in the group could say for sure. Drop a comment and tell me what you think happened here. Someone on Reddit posted a clip from a daycare in New York, recorded after several kids kept mentioning a man they claimed to see in the playroom, a man no adult on staff had ever seen. No one knew who the kids were talking about, but there was something else troubling the staff. An employee who cleaned the basement would sometimes go down and find toys arranged in a perfect circle on the floor. It upset her so much that she came back upstairs in tears more than once. After the cameras went up, they finally caught something on tape. The footage shows a seesaw in the empty playroom starting to rock back and forth on its own. Once it stops, a ball rolls slowly across the floor, as if something just let go. Then a basket sitting on a table gets knocked to the floor, as if something moved across the room and shoved it off. When staff reviewed the footage, they started wondering if this activity was connected to the disturbing man the children kept describing. This was filmed late at night while a woman named Caitlin was home alone. Her camera ends up recording something she can't explain. What makes this unsettling is that 2 years earlier, Caitlin had been in a serious accident. Back in August 2020, she jumped from a rope swing positioned way too high and landed hard on a pile of rocks. She broke her neck. The injury kept her bedridden at home for weeks while she recovered. And it's during that time, confined to her room, that something deeply unsettling started happening. She's alone when this happens.
Oh my god.
Both doors swing open at the same time, seemingly on their own. Caitlin sits frozen on her bed, too scared to move. A few days later, it happens again in the same room. The same door shuts by itself, just like the first time. Viewers who saw the clips pointed to the room as the source of the activity. Caitlin hasn't posted about either incident since uploading the footage. Based on her reaction in both videos, she'd probably rather not relive it or talk about what happened. A security guard working nights at an old complex shared this footage after witnessing what he believes is real paranormal activity on the property. The clip shows a glass door swinging open on its own, and if you watch closely, there's a faint wispy shape moving quickly through the frame. A lot of people think this might actually be a ghost caught on camera right there. But he's definitely keeping a closer eye on that hallway. Nate's a caretaker at a cemetery, and he's been posting footage of strange activity on the grounds for months now. But according to him, whatever was happening there didn't stay put. He claims it followed him home. Now he's dealing with poltergeist activity in both locations, at work and at his house. Just days ago, Nate says he caught sight of a figure wandering through his shed.
Where? I saw somebody walk by in there. It's hard to see through the window. But I was walking up to this door to unlock it, and it just real quick. I saw you. Where'd you go? Yeah, because I would have been right here. I saw you go by the window. Oh, fuck that. Nope. Sorry, don't want to play. Fuck that. Holy shit.
He walks over to where he saw the figure and calls out, asking if anything's there. That's when knocking starts behind him and a tennis ball drops from the attic hatch. The space up there is completely dark and unused. There's a ladder leading up to the attic, but Nate's mentioned before that he almost never goes up there, so there's no reason anything should be moving around. Most of what he uploads isn't dramatic. It's the kind of footage a lot of people would skip, but that's what keeps us watching. Subtle is what real activity looks like.